This is Valley News Live at noon.
New for you at noon, the Minnesota State Patrol is confirming on Twitter that at least one person has died following a head-on collision with semi in Grant County. It happened on Highway 27 around 5 this morning west of Hoffman. Authorities say the semi driver sustained non-life-threatening injuries. An investigation is currently underway to determine the cause of this crash. Authorities say 50-year-old Andrea Sweeney is the woman being treated in the hospital following a rover crash near Valley City. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says the accident happened just before 10 in the morning yesterday on I-94 just west of Valley City. Authorities say the woman was traveling westbound on I-94 towards Jamestown when she lost control of her Buick and overcorrected, causing it to enter the median of I-94. A pickup truck is now being pulled from a lake after it went crashing through the ice in west central Minnesota. The Kaneohe County Sheriff's Office says it happened yesterday on Norway Lake, close to New London. Authorities say the pickup was heading back to the south access when it went through the ice. The pickup dunked into 10 feet of ice-cold water. Everyone inside the vehicle was able to get out safely. Well, flurries were coming down earlier, but it seems like it's pretty pleasant outside, at least for now. Let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Well, this afternoon, we've got some areas that still have some flurries, still some of those flakes out there. And then there are places like Thief River Falls where we've cleared out. We've got some sunshine. So it just depends on where you are here today as we head into the afternoon. As far as conditions are concerned, we're all getting cold, though, as that colder air is pushing in. Here's a look at the latest radar and satellite map. You can see in the south and west is where we have more of those clouds and the potential for a few flakes still out there. And Fargo's still under the cloud deck, but if you look up toward Grand Forks, we're more on the clear side, and that includes more places into Minnesota, including Thief River Falls. Up by Lake of the Woods, a few more clouds there as well. So again, variable conditions. We're all cold, though, and we've been experiencing some wind out of the north or northwest now. Some of us still gusting into the 30s, a 35-mile-per-hour gust in Fergus Falls, 33 in Detroit Lakes. Fargo's wind is steady at 23, and we have a gust to 30 miles per hour in Grand Forks. So not only do we have the colder air moving in, it's rushing in, and so wind chills are pretty tough. Here's a look at your air temperature. We are at 10 degrees in Grand Forks, only 11 in Fargo, and many locations north and east where we're in the single digits right now. We've been dropping since our warmest temperatures overnight last night. And taking a look at your hourly planner, not much change here. We're looking at temperatures into the teens for Fargo for the rest of the afternoon. We may get some of that break-in clouds working its way into the Fargo-Moorhead area. It just depends on where you are here. Some places may be stuck with cloud cover into the afternoon hours as well. And cold tonight. The wind eases up a little bit, and the sky clears a little bit more in some areas, and that will only lead to more temperature drops in the valley. We'll let you know how cold we'll get and if this cold snap will last coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
Well, where we are, make sure you dressed enough for the weather. Thanks again, Lisa. Well, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum says revoking the permit for the Keystone XL pipeline is wrong for the country and is asking President Biden to reconsider his decision. Burgum says now is not the time to abandon the strategy of putting America in a position of selling energy to our friends and allies instead of having to buy it from our enemies. The governor says North Dakota has experienced firsthand how major modern pipeline infrastructure can create high-paying jobs, strengthen the economy, move product to the market in the safest and most efficient manner, and advance U.S. energy independence. He says revoking the permit has a chilling effect on private sector investment in much-needed infrastructure projects. Now, North Dakota U.S. Senator John Hoeven agrees with Burgum. Hoeven says the XL pipeline has been delayed for too long and has forced the energy industry to use transportation methods that are less efficient and more costly. He says the pipeline is a critical infrastructure project that is already under construction, providing good jobs to Americans and helping boost their economic growth. President Biden begins his first full day of work in the Oval Office today. Much of his agenda focused on immediately reversing some of the controversial actions of his predecessor, Donald Trump. Jay Gray is live in Washington this midday with a look at the new administration's early agenda. Jay?
To accomplish your purposes on earth.
President Biden's first full day in office begins with a call for help from a higher power. The immediate focus of his administration is clear.
The issue that he wakes up every day focused on is getting the pandemic under control. The issue he goes to bed every night focused on is getting the pandemic under control.
Today, the president expected to announce a coronavirus national strategy that includes expanding emergency relief and use of the Defense Production Act to increase production of vaccines, as well as expanding testing and treatment. He's already signed executive orders urging all Americans to wear masks for 100 days and imposing a mask mandate on all federal property. He's rejoined the World Health Organization. His top advisor on the pandemic, Dr. Anthony Fauci, taking part in a WHO virtual session this afternoon.
We work for the people.
Virtually swearing in hundreds of appointees.
We got a lot of work to do.
The president has started work on other campaign promises, halting construction of the border wall and introducing new sweeping immigration legislation. He's rejoined the Paris Accord and temporarily blocked oil and gas exploration in the Arctic Wildlife Refuge. A flurry of actions, reversing some of his predecessor's key initiatives, making it clear his administration plans a very different path forward.
A path, remember, that includes a narrow but controlling power of both the House and Senate. Well, a bipartisan group of lawmakers want North Dakota taxpayers to pay for legislators' meals. Now, the legislation follows a ban on the once frequent free feast from lobbyists and interest groups under voter-approved ethics rules. The bill will allow lawmakers who live outside Bismarck to claim reimbursement for meals. The cost over the years is estimated at more than $424,000, or about $3,340 for each of the 127 qualified lawmakers. Minnesota health officials now say all 6,000 spots in the coronavirus vaccine pilot program reserved for Minnesotans over 65 are filled after the registration website crashed Tuesday. The 12,000 doses for the program were diverted to the program from the state's weekly allocation of 60,000 doses from the federal government. Now, as of Sunday, more than 200,000 Minnesotans have received their first dose of vaccine, and about 38,000 have been fully inoculated. I spoke with Essentia Health about their vaccination distribution here in North Dakota, and we'll have the full story starting during our 4 p.m. show. Our new survey finds 70% of Americans are shopping more than a pandemic before. That tops our look at consumer news. But only 38% say they feel very secure doing so. The survey was conducted by ESET, an IT security company. Nearly half of those surveyed say they expect to do more online shopping when the pandemic is over. However, 17% expect to do less. A third say their habits will not change. Even more exciting lottery news. One ticket is taking the $731 million Powerball jackpot. Lottery officials say it was sold in Maryland. This is the fourth largest Powerball jackpot in history. The winner or winners will have to decide between that money over 29 years or a lump sum of about $546 million. But that's not all. A dozen tickets match all 5 white balls, but not the red Powerball. And each of those is worth $1 million. So instead of $20, you can. Well, coming up at noon, financial experts weigh in on why more Americans may be dipping into their retirement this year. And temperatures continuing to fall today. Meteorologist Lisa Green has a full look at weather.